welcome, good people. Bruce Leroy Bar for another episode 10 to be exact. And we like to kick it and chop it up with individuals, dope individuals, I think, and just bring them to the show, man. We got none other than Joce Dugan today. Joce Dugan Music. Welcome. Appreciate
Thanks,
you
man.
coming. Absolutely. We'll just
Super
get
glad
right
to be
in.
here.
Oh, go ahead. Of course.
I said I'm just glad to be here.
Of course, absolutely. We always get right into it. So always just your name, your backstory, how you got into music. I know you do a lot of other things, but I know music is your main. So just give the people your name and backstory.
Sure. So I'll just start with the Joce Dugan Music. My name's Joce Dugan. Joce Dugan Music's my music name. How did I get back into music? Well, basically when I was very, very little, like when I was a kid, like 3 or 4, my parents had a piano and I just started messing around on the piano.
Nice.
And they got me into piano lessons at a really young age. And I just really loved it. And I kind of just grew with it. Really growing up, my main thing was soccer.
Nice.
I loved soccer and I loved playing sports. But over time, I ended up hurting my back. And so music was my other hobby. So around high school, I really started taking my music seriously. But I'm classically trained pianist, and I took voice lessons as well for so many years. So I've got, maybe a decade or 2 of piano lessons under my belt where I've taken lessons. And I used to be in musicals. I used to play piano for my church.
Nice.
I used to play piano for musicals.
A little bit of everything.
Yeah, I was utilized a lot by some of the music teachers and just to help out with wherever they needed me.
Right.
And at any point, like I started to want to like be in a band and stuff. So when I was like 16 or 17, like the first band I was really in was a metal band.
Nice.
So I used to play keyboard for this metal band called Verge of Insanity. And we were like really young and we were just like hitting the scene. And they were just like, look at these kids playing metal. And we fucking rocked it. It was really cool.
And can I ask, is the piano really like, is it common in metal? Is the piano pretty common in metal?
It isn't like the most common thing. I'd say the most common is like guitar and like drums and shit. But there's symphonic metal that does bring in like elements of keyboards. And then there's certain bands that I would listen to that definitely had keyboards in it and piano pieces. And as I started to listen to more metal, I would hear it a little bit more.
Okay.
So after that, I ended up going to college for music for a little while in Chicago.
Nice.
I actually went to ISB for a sec, but I didn't like it, so I went to Chicago. School was kind of tough for me. Just everything outside of music has always been tough for me. I've always been like a music fanatic.
For sure.
So I tried college out, and it didn't really work out for me. And then life kind of just went real crazy, and I didn't really know what to do with myself. So I actually was like homeless, and I just traveled. I was a nomad for a really long time. And I went down to Nolans. I always say Nolans. Everyone's like, did you say Nolans? Yeah. Well, when you go there, everybody kind of calls it that.
That's
so
their
I went down to NOLA, and I would street perform, and I would make money that way and just get by and eat food. And basically, after being a nomad for so long, I ended up going to this concert to see A Perfect Circle in Pussifer, which is Tool. You ever listen to Tool?
I've heard of, never listened to, but I've heard of. Definitely.
Yeah. So Maynard, he had his band, and I went to see them. Then I started going, I was out in California, and I started going to all these festivals, and I was just like, dude, I need to be on stage. What am I doing? I could be those people that are doing what they're doing.
Sure.
I have every last capability to do those things. So I ended up coming back to South Bend and just really started working on myself.
Yeah.
I joined this psychedelic rock band called In This Style. It was like
a psychedelic rock.
Yep,
Nice.
psychedelic rock.
Nice.
And then, but in the meantime, I was always writing my own stuff and trying to release my own stuff.
Yeah.
From the psychedelic rock band, I met this drummer slash producer slash wizard. He's amazing, and his name's Tony Tagliaferri. And he's the drummer. Yeah, shout out to Tony.
Yeah.
He produced one of the gifts that I gave to you here today. I got one gift for you.
Hey.
He produced my EP and helped me get my vision out there. And I really have huge thanks to him because he really pushed me further in my career.
That's good.
So after In This Style, I ended up departing and I started doing my own stuff. and I had Joce Dugan music.
Nice.
So I started going to these open mics at McCormick's and Veggie Buddies, and when I got back into town, and I started meeting people, and I met my drummer named Randy Wagers, and the same night that I was playing with Randy, Billy East was also on stage, and people had kept telling me, like, you need to mess with Billy. You need to work with him because of the music from the Crystal Cave. I was like, sure. Meanwhile, while the Crystal Cave was out, my homies from Chicago, they have this huge hip-hop collective called Solution, and they would always bring me out to Chicago and, like, pay for me to come out there, pay me for my, my time. I got to headline this huge hip-hop show. It was really cool. And then I met this huge collective out there. But let's get back to Billy and Randy. So I met them the same night. It was epic. We all were on stage together. We had no clue that we were going to even be a thing. But so Randy hit me up and was like, hey, do you want to do some jazz music? I'm like, yes, that sounds awesome. For sure. I personally hit up Billy, and I was talking to Billy, and I was like, hey, dude, do you want to check out my music? People keep telling me that we would mesh really well, so let's see what happens. And he was like, sure. He comes over, and we're, like, working on stuff, and lo and behold, we find out that our children are related. We had no clue. I'm like, dude, we're like family. What the hell? Our kids are tribe. So, like, my baby dad and his baby mom, our kids are related. They're cousins, and so it was really cool. I felt like real connected because I'm adopted and I don't have like any blood. So my son is the first blood that I have that I've ever met in my entire life. I've never met any of my family. I came from Santiago, Chile in South America when I was just a little baby. My family adopted me. And, so when I found out Jade was related to Billy's daughter, I was just blown away because it was the first time I ever actually had a connection to somebody. Because I always see people growing up, they're like, oh, that's my cousin, this is that. And then finally it happened to me. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And of course it's somebody I'm doing music with. So it felt right.
It was only right. That's dope. That's
dope. I was working on songs with Randy, working on songs with Billy, and all together I was just like, guys, can we just come together? Because we're doing the same shit. Let's come together. And we formed a band called Bad Assets. BADD Assets, and we were around for about 4 years. And then actually when COVID hit, we really just kind of lost touch with each other because we were kind of afraid to get together. I was catching COVID. I caught it like 3 times. It super sucked. But yeah, it kind of put a little bit of distance between us all. And then really, I'd say so many months ago, like over the summer, I think, we all kind of just realized that it's gonna take.
Come back around full circle, but it'll.
We're gonna take a break from it, and I actually think we might be done as Bad Assets, or maybe one day we'll come back to it, but.
But you're working on your stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. So during COVID, I started working on my own project. I'm working on an album still called The Babylon Odyssey. And then Billy started doing his own thing, and then Randy's got his other band, so, we're all
everybody's
busy.
Working on it.
Everybody's,
But it's no bad blood, nothing like that. So
exactly.
Everybody's doing their own thing, and that's dope to see, for sure.
Yeah.
Let's go right into Concrete Rose.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I know you mentioned that you have a part in it plus music. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Just explain that a little bit. How'd that come about?
Sure. So Concrete Rose is a film that's coming out. It's an all-Latino casted film. Yeah. And the director is from South Bend. His name's John Villanueva.
Shout out to him. Yeah.
Shout out to John.
Definitely.
So basically, he was going to premiere the movie, but then COVID hit. But I was supposed to perform with this girl. We were supposed to perform the opening for the movie. Then COVID hit, everything shut down, and I hit up John. I was like, man, I really wanted to do that show for you. Yeah. And I told him, I'm Latino too, and I came from South America, so that's why it was so important to me, because I just wanted to be a part of something that was part of, where I come from and the culture, because, growing up, I've never had that. Like, my family, they're not Latino, so it was just really cool to feel like I could represent that part of myself. And so he was just like, you know what? I want to put your song in the movie, and why don't you come be in the scene and perform your song as Joce Dugan music? And I was like,
Shit.
Oh my gosh, dude. Okay, cool.
What an opportunity.
And so I went there, and it was a couple summers ago. It was 2 summers ago, and I recorded it. It was crazy. The scene was crazy. It's real gangster.
Okay.
It was a really gangster scene. There's hella guns
is
there.
Is it outside of your element? Like, is it something that you would be like?
Oh, I mean, I've met a lot of people. I've seen a lot of shit. It
So
wasn't
it was
really.
easy then.
No, I wasn't scared. I was just like, well, goddamn, you guys, are really out here.
That's cool. That's super cool.
It was at the Hood Rat Biker Bar. I don't know if you know where that's at, but
I know a couple people that are part of that.
yeah.
So,
You know what kind of vibe it is.
That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah. So the scene was there, and that was the first scene I did, and then I was asked to be a part of a second scene, just randomly. It was super random.
Yeah.
I'm there with my girl Juliana Stiles.
Okay.
I don't know if you know her, but she's amazing. She's
Does tattoos. Right?
Does she? I thought she does hair. She does
Maybe it's
hair.
hair,
Maybe
maybe
she
it's
does
hair.
a little bit of tattoos. She's a really amazing artist too, though. She paints and stuff, and
Dope.
she does body art and yeah. So I'm in a little scene with them, and like there's these 3 guys from Chicago. They're in a couple other shows, Rocky and Angel and Jordan. They're really cool. They're in another show. I can't remember the name of the show right this second, but they were really cool to work with, and they just made me real comfortable.
Yeah.
Another scene that I helped out with Concrete Rose is they're doing this like ritual scene, like a Santeria scene, and I just brought in all these skulls that I've collected because I have a bone collection that I've found most of them, and my crystals and stuff. So I helped out with that scene.
Yeah.
And then John hit me up one day and was like, hey, I got this song and I just need you to write this piano to it. And I was like, man. Come on through.
Yeah.
So he brought him and this girl Gigi. Gigi's amazing vocalist. She's wonderful. She smashed the song, like blew me away. Had her singing in the living room in my house. I was like in tears. We were all freaking out. And so yeah, they asked me to start recording and I was like, guys, I don't really record, but let me go grab everything. So I'm like grabbing my computer and grabbing all this stuff, and yeah, we recorded parts of it, the guitar and the piano, and then she went to her own studio and we wrote this song called Rose Petals, and it's the love theme for Concrete Rose. So there's different scenes where there's like little lovey-dovey things going on, and you'll hear the track.
You'll hear it more than once.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
Yeah, we tried to do another one, but it didn't quite work out. But you know, that was
one.
really cool. And that show, the movie is going to be out really soon here on Netflix, like this year in a couple months or so. You know, I'm really excited for that because I'm going to be on Netflix for the first time ever. And my music and my name is going to be out there.
Yeah.
One last thing I want to say about Concrete Rose and how special it is I've never met my family, so I'm going to put my name. My name is Jocelyn del Carmen Bobadilla. That's my birth name, and I'm putting that on there. And maybe, just maybe, some of my fam will see it and be like, oh, you know, it's just a dream of mine since I was a kid to just be able to find some people. So it was really meaningful in that manner.
Not only will you be reaching people with the movie and the tracks in it, but they'll be reaching out to you too. I'm sure of it. That's dope to hear. So Concrete Rose, be on the lookout. 2022 this year.
Mm-hmm. This year, very soon.
So definitely. What's the best piece of advice you've ever gotten in your music career?
From music. I would say it was one of my friends from a metal band, Vilmaya, my friend Marco Kubo. He said, get a good recording. Just get one good recording. And I was like, or just get, good quality recordings. And just put yourself out there. And I was like, it just stuck with me. I was like, because I was recording on my phone, everything just kind of sucked. But when you get that good quality music sound and it's just produced nicely and everything's mixed and mastered, it's radio quality.
Absolutely.
So that's really what I've been aiming for now is just radio quality music.
Dope. Okay. One of my personal favorites of you were featured on it, but definitely still just a bigger part of it, Elaine.
Yeah.
With Indy. Off the 6 Man, one of my favorite tracks, and to see you guys perform it at McCormick's, that was a dope moment. So how did that track actually come about? Like when I know you guys have done multiple tracks, but how did that actual track come about?
Sure. So Indy hit me up because of Rome, Genesis X Media, our homie that's filming this currently.
Come on.
He's putting out a good word for me, and he was telling Indy that he should holler at me, and he did. And I started to notice him, and I watched him. I kind of studied him a little bit, and I was like, you know what, dude? Like, you're really young and you're really driven, and I really like what you're doing. So let's go. Let's go. I'm ready. And so I went over to his house and we recorded it, and it was always so fun hanging out with him. I was like, man, I just like, we could be best friends, dude. Like,
there we go.
It's like, let's meet every week.
Positive
we met a
energy,
couple
yeah.
weeks in a row, I think 3 weeks, and we were just like, man, we're homies now.
Yeah.
But
That's dope. And I know he's on, was it this one that he's on?
No, he's going to be on the Babylon Odyssey.
The Babylon Odyssey.
The one that's coming
Gotcha.
out
Okay.
soon. But the single is out there already on Spotify.
That's, as I've heard it. So shout out to that. You guys make great music. It seems effortless. So that's definitely dope to see.
Yeah, it was fun. And also he really got me getting better at recording. So I got to give a huge shout out to Indy for helping me record, John helping me record, and Tony. They've always pushed me to keep growing as a musician, and now as a recording artist, I'm trying.
Yeah, you always got to have those people behind you. You can push yourself only so far, but when you got a team behind you that pushes you just as much, it's nothing but the sky's the limit. So definitely.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Who were 3 artists, dead or alive, that you would ever want to work with?
All right, so my favorite, most wonderful person that I wish I could work with is like Freddie Mercury from Queen. He sings and he plays piano, and that's what I do.
Yeah,
he writes amazing songs. He went in to study, how can I take this even further? They influence classical music into their rock music, and just anybody that sings and plays music and writes on the piano, it's going to be huge. Which leads me to another amazing artist. There's so many, it's kind of hard to pick my top 3, but I'm going to just...
Oh, is 3 okay? You want to do 5? You want to stretch out to 5?
Let's start with 3 and see if I can think of any more, because my brain might go weird here. I'll just name another one, Alicia Keys. Alicia Keys, with her soulful-ass voice. Her voice has inspired me to grow my voice and build on how I sing and just learn how to sing, really sing. Yeah. Take my voice to a whole new level. And she plays and writes songs on the piano. Right up my alley. Yeah. So her writing, when I heard Fallen when I was a kid, I was just like...
Songs from A minor. 2001, I want to say.
I think so.
Fire. And she's been in the game 20 plus. So that's dope.
She's
rarely... I rarely hear her mentioned when it comes to artists. This might be the first time I've asked that question, top 3. But I rarely hear Alicia Keys mentioned when it comes to who would you want to work with, or who would you want to make music with? But
definitely her. I feel like me and her could just spit out songs. We could probably write a whole track, a whole album in a day.
That'd be a fun session.
We could do it in a day, man. It'd be great.
She'll promote the shit out of you too.
I'd love that. That'd be cool.
Joce Dugan, Alicia Keys, and one more if you got.
Elton John.
Nice.
Elton John. He wrote so many hits. He was in movies. He did the soundtrack for The Lion King. Just doing stuff. Scores for films, and I just those are my people. That I highlight, and I want to be like them. Yeah. And Elton John also teaches piano too. He taught I think different members of the Osbournes, like Ozzy Osbourne and his kids and shit. So
I could remember back then when was it. That show that was on MTV?
Yes.
When they were, that show
they
was
had
crazy.
him over a couple times.
Did they?
Yeah, he was on the show.
Nice.
Taking piano lessons. That's how I found out about it.
That's a solid 3.
Show's fucking hilarious.
Super solid 3. So,
cool.
So Freddie Mercury, Alicia Keys, Elton John.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm going to say one more, because this is the OG. This is the OG.
Okay.
Beethoven.
Shit.
Because I'm a classical pianist. No one can fuck with the Moonlight Sonata.
See, now you making me want to go listen to whatever that is. I've never heard of that, but man, I might have to listen to some classic Beethoven. For sure. That's
it's
dope.
Really good, and I think being a classical musician, music really stemmed from that. It really did. Instruments stemmed from the classical era. The piano stemmed from that.
Nice.
So it's a huge part of my life, and the history of it is phenomenal. And music has just I can't believe how long or how short of a period it has been, from the 1800s to now.
Absolutely.
It's not that long, and it's kind of crazy. It's wild to me just how quickly things have evolved musically. So, going way back to the roots of music and then to where we are now with it, that's where I'm at, and I want to be an evolutionary musician too, but also hold down the roots.
Manifested. You just did it, so
Yeah,
definitely.
I'm trying.
We also have a thing over here called rapid fire questions, this or that.
Sure.
I got a couple for you.
All right, let's go.
Let's start with Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin.
Definitely Zeppelin.
Zeppelin?
Yes.
Okay, definitely. I agree with that. I agree. I'm a Pink Floyd fan, but I have a lot more Led Zeppelin vinyls.
Nice.
So
That's cool. You got them on vinyl.
that I will never.
face,
I
you're
would
like,
never go back to any type of like. If I didn't have this, I would never go out and get a CD, a tape. Like vinyl is the purest sound I can think of. So.
Oh yeah.
If you ever get a record player, if you have one.
Oh, I need one for sure.
Yeah, you'll see. The RZA or the Jizza.
My gosh. I mean, RZA, I just gotta go for RZA. I was supposed to see Jizza earlier this year.
When they did the
Three Chambers tour.
Shit.
I was supposed to go hit that with some of the people that I work with, and we were supposed to link up with M80, and we were gonna try to drop a mixtape into some people's hands. But they rescheduled everything, and I think we might be going in March.
Okay.
So that kind of, yeah.
That's dope.
So it's really hard to choose, but
Man.
RZA's like, he's kind of like a ringleader, and
Yeah, of course.
And I got his book right here with me.
Shout out to the manual. That's dope. Hey, if you could ever get that in their hands, that would change. That would change so much. Oh my God! Like Wu-Tang, and I'm 34. I don't never ask a lady's age, but I'm pretty. With you having that book, you know what Wu-Tang is.
Oh yeah.
Like just knowing the evolution they've put into the game and like different groups, even solo artists, like how they've changed. So
Yeah, it's really
that'll be dope to
extensive.
see. Definitely. Let's go with 90s rap, 90s R&B.
Definitely 90s rap.
Rap?
Yeah,
Okay.
I gotta go with the rap.
Okay.
It's hard,
It's
but
super
it's just
hard.
like, I think of like Nelly, the Country Grammar album.
Man.
Like I remember when I was a kid and I had my Walkman, and I was
Yeah.
like, just loving the Country Grammar. It was like, ooh, where they at, where they at? And I'm like, if you wanna go into the rap, I'm like,
That was the first CD I ever bought. And that's funny you even bring it up. Like
Oh,
first
that's
physical CD
awesome.
I've ever bought.
That's
I was
so
like
cool.
13 and Sam Goody, and I'm like, with the parental
Yeah,
advisor,
yeah.
it's like, not gonna be able to buy
See,
this.
I wasn't even allowed to have that. I wasn't even allowed to have it, but my neighbor friend had it,
Oh,
and I was like,
shit.
man, let me pop that in here and let me
Let me
walk
listen to it
around.
at least once.
Yes.
That's dope.
And then I figured out what the cuss words were, and I'd be like,
Oh.
Mom, I know what they say here. She'd be like, how'd you know? I was like, ooh, oops.
Last but not least, let's go with Martin or Fresh Prince. If you watch either or both.
I don't know what Martin is. What is that?
Never seen Martin?
I
With
don't
Martin
know if
Lawrence?
I don't.
Martin was his show, like when he was first coming out, like 90s. When Fresh Prince was out, Martin was out, but Martin had his own show where it was just like it was a sitcom pretty much, but
Nice.
he played pretty much every character in it.
That's hilarious.
If you think of Martin Lawrence, if you like Martin Lawrence, you would love the Martin. I think of it this way. Me being 34, I was more so the Fresh Prince because it stuck with me, the values and stuff in it. Martin was more. I was young when Martin came out, so it was more like adult humor.
I gotcha.
But when you get a chance, check out Martin.
All right,
Martin. So
I will.
I know you know Fresh Prince. Of course.
Yeah,
Everybody
I do,
knows
of course.
Martin for sure.
Yeah, it was fun to watch Fresh Prince. I always thought he was funny.
They got a reboot coming out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's fun.
It's
Is Will Smith in it?
No.
Oh,
It's
man.
like a whole new cast.
Okay.
But the fact that there's a trailer. Just go like to YouTube, whatever.
Okay.
Look up Bel Air trailer.
Okay.
It's complete. Like it's nothing like the Fresh Prince. It's
Nice.
the exact opposite. Like he literally has to leave Philly because he gets into fights, and
yeah.
they show like all the fights and him getting arrested. And I'm not gonna say too much, but
Oh,
definitely
yeah.
dope.
I
Definitely
will
dope.
say that Will Smith was also an influence, like in the '90s for me. Just the fact that he didn't have to be real, like, crude with his lyrics, and that he was kind of for everybody.
Oh, yeah,
like he was a little bit of booty in here and there, but it wasn't anything just really grimy. Like I really appreciated that. He could still do music without it being like overly sexualized all the time.
Yep.
And he does films. He was in like the Wild Wild West, one of my favorite movies. It's all steampunk and stuff. And
Nice.
Yeah, so
very
Will Smith
universal.
is awesome.
He's very universal for sure. So let's get into the upcoming things you have going on.
Yeah.
Right now, 2022. Right now, whenever you wanna,
Sure.
So what year we got coming up?
So let me touch base on the Joce Dugan music.
Okay.
I've been working on the Babylon Odyssey,
Nice.
and like I said, I'm still like figuring out my DAW, like my recording program, and just learning how to utilize it to the best that I can.
Absolutely.
So I'm working on the Babylon Odyssey. It's like really close to finish, but
Nice.
me being the artist that I am, I'm critiquing the hell out of it, even though I should probably put it out, but I'm still kind of formulating how I want to go about it fully.
Absolutely.
So I've kind of put that on the back burner because I had another opportunity come up in my life, and this one's really exciting for me.
Okay.
So I met a couple folks, and I can't go too far into the backstory of how I met everybody.
Give them what you can.
Yes,
That's it.
I'll say a couple things. But I met an artist named Okami Ghost Hack, and he's really awesome. He has like a bunch of aliases: Okami Ghost Hack, Poison Flowers, Yuki Anubis, and his main one is Omega Red. And I sent you that track.
Man.
So Omega Red, one
out.
of his shout out to Omega Red, Okami. So he made this like fan track basically. He took this like beat, added it to this like anime song, and then took RZA and MF Doom and made this beautiful collaboration.
Crazy
and
track.
it went viral.
Yeah.
Like it was huge. And so I had been listening to, he had this album called Doom is for the Children. So back in the day, I remember being on LimeWire, like downloading shit, trying to get
Master.
MF Doom's music. But I ended up downloading his whole album, the Doom is for the Children. So I already knew who he was. I'm working with this guy, and he's telling me, oh, I've got Wu-Tang affiliations, this and that. And I'm like, yeah, everybody can talk, everybody can talk until I kind of see something. I'm not really like impressed yet, but I give him a chance. And so, and this was actually, I started working with him before I even found this out, but once he played that song and I looked at him, I was like, you didn't do that, dude. And he's like, no, that was me.
That was me, yeah.
And I was like, I've been listening to this for like a decade.
Nice.
I've covered this song on the piano.
What?
You did this?
Yeah.
He's like, I did that. Yup. And I'm like, oh my God, dude.
Amazing.
So this is freaking like, this is amazing. So after I did a couple tracks and started working with him, he put a really awesome rapper on one of my singles. And after I recorded, I think one night there, they invited me to the label, which is like a recording, they call it a zaibatsu.
Okay.
I might be saying it wrong, but it's basically a collective of like workers making money, but they call it a musical zaibatsu.
Okay.
Zaibatsu is like a term, like an Asian term. I can't tell if it's Japanese. Just don't hold me to any of this. But it's an Asian term for like a collective of workers trying to make a bunch of money, pretty much.
Okay.
So their label's called Ice Cream Kowan, and
Nice.
I was introduced and asked to be on the koan, and I was like, sure. And so the koan is really connected to a lot of different amazing artists. But the producer, Omega Red, Okami Ghost Hack is what he's going by right now. You'll see his name in different ways and different things, depending on what he's doing. But he got a Wu-Tang like high-ranking affiliate member. His name is Killa Priest. So I got Killa Priest on my first single for the Ice Cream Koan, and as soon as that happened, I looked at him like, okay, this is it. Like this is some real shit right here. Like okay, and there's a couple songs with Killa, and we've got like different verses and different things from him, and so one other thing about Omega Red is that he works for M80. Nice. If you know who M80 is.
You've spoken on him briefly. I'm not too familiar, but
he's
you speaking on
he's
him.
popping off. He's also signed by the same people. He's the same A&R as Wu-Tang Clan.
Nice.
So he works under M80, and basically that's kind of like how I was gonna go to that Three Chambers tour. We were just gonna ride out and go say hi to M80, and then maybe slip this mixtape. But we're still gonna try it out, I'm sure. But so working with Ice Cream Koan has been phenomenal. He has unreleased music with like Jedi Mind Tricks, and I was just in the studio last night working on a single A single for Fat Beats. We got Immortal Technique, Eminem, Jay-Z. Like, big names have worked for Fat Beats. This is the biggest thing I've ever done, aside from this Concrete Rose and being on Netflix. So, you know, when I said you hit me up at the right time, like, I'm really happy with the people that I've been able to just connect with, because I've been trying to manifest this. Been trying real hard to just find a place for me to go just sing, play piano, add some beats in where I'm needed, and just be a force of that. And they literally have everything laid out. I got endless beat makers. Like, we got Climax, we have White Lotus from Canada, we've got Spearman. I could be saying some of their names wrong, but we got hella rappers too from all over the world, like Majin. We got Monk's Hoods from around here, Morlor, Minas the Pharaoh, that's his name, other name, and you know, like, they're in it. Like, they just dropped this remix tape album like yesterday, and we got this new person on the Koan named DJ Monkey Fingers, and he just did this big remix. It's gorgeous. It's all lo-fi, lo-fi hip hop with like these anime like vibes. So like, yeah. So that's kind of how like they work with like the Wu-Tang stuff. Is like there's always been like this the Asian influence. So you know, they got me studying. They got me studying, and one other people we're trying to do some stuff for the Gravediggers mixtape. Gravediggers, RZA's other group. Yeah. So that was one thing that I have an opportunity to be on. I haven't started anything for that yet because we're finishing the Fat Beats song. So, but you working? You know, I really am. Definitely. I'm just so excited to be plugged in because I've been really worried about like COVID and how I can't really be out there performing because I always thought that performing was going to be my niche, and it has been, and I've like done really cool stuff with it. But you know, I just want to write. That's really what I want to do. Is I'm a writer, and so adding my instrumentals into stuff has been really fun. We have a upcoming mixtape, or sorry, it's not a mixtape. We have a full-length album that's going to be out with Ice Cream Koan, and I'm on it. And I have a new alias, so it's not under Joce Dugan Music. It's under Litty Michiko. So my new, Michiko. So I look more like Litty today than Joce Dugan. Okay. Yeah. Litty also, it's fun. People literally thought I was like going crazy. I remember somebody like messaged my baby dad. They're like, I think your baby mama is losing her mind because she has this other page and she's a new name. I'm like, you guys will find out soon enough. I don't even care. It was just funny to me. I was like, I don't care. People will always think I'm crazy. It's whatever. But
let them talk. Let them talk.
But so we got this full-length album that's dropping real soon. Okay. I'm literally like just finishing up this last track with piano and vocals. I just laid down the vocals. I got to lay down the piano, and then it's called the Mechanical Yanaki Graveyards. It's about to drop. It'll be my first album with them, and I got a single on there. I'm rapping. They got me to rap, and it was really epic. So I'm looking forward to that, and then releasing a few of my own singles that, you know, I've been rapping, but I've been really scared to like just openly do it.
Just go for it.
I know. I had to have people tell me to do it.
You got to.
And one of I want to give a shout out to Billy and my homie Diab because they were both telling me like, just sing rap. Just do it. You can do it. Just do it. And then that show that you were at actually was the first time I rapped here in South Bend, like live. So that was kind of historical for me. For sure. And I felt like Billy was like my little my wingman in a way. After I performed, he came up to me and gave me like feedback. He was like, it was really interesting seeing you kind of step away from the piano and just do your thing. And you know,
that's what you love.
It's like my mentor.
You love to hear it, for sure.
So it was really cool. Definitely. It's cool that people have pushed me to go beyond what I've been comfortable with, and you know, just shine on.
Absolutely, keep doing, keep going for sure. We are rooting for you, and at the end of the day, we know you're gonna make it big for sure. So
thanks,
just
man.
Keep pushing forward.
I'm super trying.
Last but not least, I always like to give the flowers to the people that deserve them, and you definitely do. So once again, we appreciate you. I appreciate you for coming on the show and just being a part of the community, doing what you love to do and being passionate about it and just pushing forward with it. So keep going. And before you leave, though, just let everybody know your social tags, your music links, Anything Joce Dugan wise.
Absolutely.
Let people know.
All right, so real quick, I'm gonna just sport this stuff real quick. We got this is Ghost Hack, Omega Red's hat. This is a gift for you from him. We got the Ice Cream Koan mixtape. This for you. Joce Dugan Music. You can find Joce Dugan Music, Joce Dugan, Dugan Music. You'll find me on Facebook. Lots of videos are on there. YouTube, SoundCloud, pretty much everywhere. Apple Music, Amazon. You could buy it anywhere, and that's where the Babylon Odyssey is going to be. But you'll find the Crystal Cave on there, and you can get the 5-track. And this is actually my last copy, and it's going to you.
Appreciate you.
And then Ice Cream Koan, they're all over the place. You can search them on Spotify. If you follow, some of the rappers, you'll find them too. But they got Spotify, like I said, on every platform pretty much. But Ice Cream Koan, got you and Rome a couple stickers here, and pretty much on all streaming platforms. Joce Dugan Music. Oh yeah, Litty Michiko.
There you go.
You'll see Litty Michiko on Facebook as of right now. I just made her DistroKid, so
nice.
As soon as I drop this single, America I'm Beautiful, it's gonna be out there for the Ice Cream Koan, but also Litty Michiko.
There we go.
But,
under your alias.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
I'm excited. So
That's dope.
yeah.
Hey.
Facebook.
Facebook.
Facebook's the nexus for all of it as of right now, but you'll find it everywhere real soon.
Cool. Well, once again, appreciate you.
Yeah,
this has been Bruce Leroy Bar Report, episode 10. Once again, good people. It's Joce Dugan. Yo.
Bye bye.
Yeah. I still got that ace. You know what?